Hi. Um, Now I'm going to talk about polygon smoothing. So I have three boxes here. They are all a little bit different. As you can see, this is a cube, just a simple cube. This is a subdivided cube, right? It has some interior faces. And this is another subdivided cube, but the edges have all been moved to the very outside corners. So instead of here, we're divided equally into three sections. Here I have three sections, but the middle is much larger. The edge is been moved out towards the corner of the object. So the divisions here is a little bit different, as you can see, than the division here. So I want to look at the effect of smoothing on all three of these. So polygon smoothing is under mesh smooth here. But before we look at that, there's actually a way to preview what I'm going to see when I do this. And that is by pressing selecting one of the objects. Here I'll select this first one, this very simple cube that's not subdivided. And if I press the number 3 on the keyboard, you'll notice that it rounded the object. It made it kind of this spherical shape. If I go and press the number 1 again with it selected, I have to have it selected, I'm back to my cube. If I press the number 2, you'll notice I kind of have both. I have my sphere, and then I have the cube outlined around it. So I'm going to press the number 1 again. So what I'm looking at here is this is just a representation, when I press the number 3, of what it would look like if I smoothed this polygonal object. So when I press 1 again, it's as it is actually modeled and the way it would render. But if I press 3, it's as if I had gone to mesh smooth. So it's a way to kind of preview that. And of course, the number 2 here is kind of a combination of both. So it shows you both at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and smooth this first one. And you can see that it does give me this sphere. I have a divisions number here, and I can add more divisions to kind of break that up into smaller and smaller faces, smoother and smoother outcome. So when I look at this, I have this subdivided. So let's see, when I preview this by pressing 3, you'll notice that now I don't actually have a sphere. I have kind of this very rounded cube, right? It doesn't look like this at all. It has just rounded edges. It's very round, kind of pillowy. Press back at 1. When I have divisions supporting my object, it will round out less. It holds the basic shape better than if I just have a simple cube with no interior divisions. So if I go and smooth that mesh, you can see that that's exactly what I would get. I get this nice smooth kind of edges, but the faces are flat. Right? The sides are relatively flat. The corners are nice and rounded, though. So what happens when I take those subdivisions and I push them out to the edges so that now they're very close or relatively close to the corners that will get smooth? So as we'll see, here the smooth effect is rather pronounced. When I do this, and I'm just going to preview it by pressing 3, you'll notice that the smooth effect is much more confined to just the area around the edge. Right? So if I go and make this mesh smooth, you can see that my the effect is just around where that smooth corner is. Whereas here, it's a much larger effect with only the interior edges more evenly spaced out. Here, those edges that we created were right up to the boundary, right up to the edge of my corners. So you can see the three different effects of how these are applied, right? Whether when I make my cube, I have something that's just a simple cube like that. Whether when I make my cube, I have something like this, where it's evenly divided. I'll have something more like this. Or if I make my cube and have it equally divided, but then push those edges out, say, to the corners, like that, all the way around, I'll wind up with something